It's Podraza. I'm not making any of this up. Hi, this is Pat Podraza. They obliterated like hell today. And boy, the only time I get to be myself, totally, is when I talk to you and your husband. I hope this is all right with you. They tore me to shreds, and it has to do with Lemelman in Massachusetts, those capos. They are no good, and I don't care anything about their hits and about their credentials when they are that evil. They are, in essence, a Nazi, but a Jew. And boy, there's no way I'd have anything to do with them at all. They keep feeding me that Jen in Naples and all night. I don't want anything to do with that female and her mother and father. They were originally from Malden. And I don't want my son harmed at all. I really count on Chad Gifford's references there. His friends, their families, and that's where it's at. I don't want them infiltrating near my son or my daughter at all. And some of them are no good. No good Irish, no good Jew, no good. The thing is serious today. They took the worst hit ever. It hasn't been like this in a long time. I don't want to sound like this, and I don't want you upset. You're traveling soon for Thanksgiving, and I'm in good shape monetarily. And here I will discuss something with my son. It has to take place. I am waiting on the subject of Stephen Kotler. They are trying to ruin that by running me out and bring anybody in place of. I am myself with you and your husband. And I don't get a chance to be what I am ever. I am still for that mind. If he makes it, and he's trying to make it, I know he's alive somewhere. And that is it in a nutshell. And that's the best he's doing. He's doing as best he can. I don't want their kind anywhere. They're hell. They're right. My analogy on this was they're from the River Styx. My analogy for them was that they're from the River Styx, within the bowels of the earth. That was Latin way back, and that is how I feel, that they go through the muck of hell. They were so bad today, I can't even fathom it. There's only one part that wasn't. Honestly, please, let's have a conversation on this. I know you have a holiday coming up, and I want you to have that. An email, and I'll make sure. Leave me a text if you can, or your husband, that has me tell you that I've received it. Very serious today. They're at it like crazy. They're impossible. And they just want me run out. And honestly, I had enough with the keys locked out and taking care of that. And I'm going to put a couple of cards in the mail. One, it's unheard of. And they started talking real fast. That's not my father's military. That's not his at all. I can speak quickly and shift gears in that. That is a mob military. And they are two different worlds. You have a beautiful evening. Give me a text when you have a chance. Your practice, your dinner together, your evening together is always first. I don't mean to be any way demanding. Very, very, very bad today. It's got to stop. You have a beautiful night. Maybe Joe Lalvord is feeling better on this. But I certainly was not trying to do individuals in. The constant reference here in movies, and they wanted to knock me off in there, were Joel's. And honestly, it's Chacon. I don't understand that part of it. Now, maybe he's relaxed now, and he understands I'm not trying to harm anybody, but we have got to research whose is whose. The constant reference was he, and it was brutal. In fact, I had to worry about it. Now, maybe there's understanding now, and that is good. I really do not know about that part of it, but I know that the piano guys is unbelievable music. Workman is Il Divo, and I turn that on and I can calm. Now I will do my knees. We have to research how that reference is so connected on that. Not to do them in, but because of what I've listened to on this subject. It was Joel's, as constantly was referenced. First he says it's Josie, and then he said it was Joel Alvord. This was said. Now the prior thing is a bit of a rough one for me. Now they know at the top. He would know what went on because he's higher level. But I had some empathy on that because of the anxiety. Now they both vied to the top. Joe Alvord won it prior. Secondarily, and Joe Alvord was angry with me on his portfolio. I can say that to you. There's something wrong on that. Or he's listened enough to understand me better. Now that's possible. But none of this is making any sense as far as the whys and the depth. This is real bad news. Let's take a look at that picture. You have a beautiful night. And she came to me and said, I needed the money. That's all she had to say. Nothing had to be said at points in time between us. Nothing had to be said. It was a horrible, serious mess. Nothing had to be said. My father was very, he gave my mother no reason for any kind of an affair. He had a positive self-image. And I have that myself. And I make sure I don't go near any kind of arrogance at all. I don't have the degrees, and I know I don't. I know I don't have an MD degree or a DO. I know I don't. I know I don't. But he had a positive self-image, and I feel the respect is deserved. And I feel that that male has to enter here for my son. I discussed that. Now, that was done. My father was being tortured. Then he ended up within the civil service, and he calmed and was happy. Something was going wrong at Pratt & Whitney when he did the night shift. His circadian rhythms were off. And I was up late at night. It was a rough adjustment for circadian rhythms. I allowed myself to stay in bed this morning, so sunrise. There was no incontinence on Aaron Drive. Now, I gave her dignity. I can smell urine easily. And I wouldn't do anything to take her dignity away from her. Never would I take her dignity away from her. And she took care of that. She washed her underwear. She had a rack. Everything was washed. You never smelled food. That I could smell. She never had it at Aaron Drive, which was the next apartment. My eyes weren't good enough to see that there was no window in the back, horrible bungee thing. And honestly, I could do nothing yet. We had to get straightened out through her health. It was going downhill physically a bit, and she was close to death. As I say, we often miss the second sentence. It was just known between us at that point in time. So that was that point. That was in Connecticut. That was on Cell Road. That was straight. I didn't know whether I was being indicted for child abandonment in here due to somebody who cognitively was messed up. Or, I don't know, the inference is also on having sex with my son for a while. I mean, this society, you are a psychiatrist, is unusual to some of us anyway. But the first part is why I answered anything. I was, who are you? I didn't know what was going on. And those terms, it's quieted, was a little quieter last night. Now, I got angry over the 11th, my father and mother's anniversary. They married 1945, I think. Went to New York at St. Patrick's Cathedral. My grandmother from Ireland, my aunt, uncle, and my mother and father went, and that was what they went, and spent the weekend, and had a wonderful time there. And that is where they got married, and it was their wedding trip. Now, there are two kinds of military in this. And somebody played some beautiful classical music. And I don't know whether that mind is dead. I didn't know about that. And I was married to Phil Weber, who said he had military background and wanted me to charge anything